Kirsten. We're in a different venue today because it's my partner's birthday. So I'm at his house talking about books that he's recommended to me. Happy birthday, Tom! So the first is, this is the book I read when we first went away together. We went to the Tall Ships Festival in Amsterdam and we sort of overlapped. We didn't exactly go together, but we both went at the same time and we saw each other while we were there, and I read Master and Commander, which a lot of my friends really loved this book. And it did teach me a lot about ships, which was really useful at the time. The Tall Ships Festival happens in Amsterdam every 5 years, so the next one is in 2 years. If you fancy going, just like give me a shout and I'm sure I can be there. And if you wanted to see me, I mean. This is about a cellist. There's a lot of rum bum and concertinas in this book. It was a bit too much of that for me, but lots of my friends love it, so I'm really glad I read it because I feel like it's this huge cultural impact. 2 of my friends even named a dog after it. So yeah, so Master and Commander. If you like rum bum and concertinas, it's your thing. It's historical fiction set in the Navy. If you like cellos, there's an excellent cellist in this, and there's lots to learn about ships, so if you feel like you need to learn about ships fast, this is a good one to choose. The next is The Death of Grass by John Christopher. It was published in the 60s, I think, 1956, so a bit earlier than I thought. It's early sci-fi about what happens when a blight hits the earth and all the grass dies. Not just the green grass in your lawn, but all the wheat and oat and rice and bamboo and sugarcane and everything, and how quickly society falls apart. John Christopher doesn't seem to have a very good view of humanity. His societies always fall apart. But I'm glad I read this. I hadn't seen it before. I'd read a lot of John Christopher's when I was just on the cusp of reading adult books, but not this one, so I'm really glad I did read this. Completely different. The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making. If you like the Wayward Children's books by Sean Maguire, this is a good book to pick up. It's about a girl who finds herself in fairyland and has to navigate it to get home. She makes her own ship, she has lots of adventures, she kind of works out the rules and bends them to her way, and it's just really well written. It's lots of fun. Holly Black describes it as a mad, toothsome romp of a fairy tale, which I think that says it all really. It's about accurate. It's The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making by Catherine M. Belanto. It's the only one of hers I've ever read, by the way. I hear good things about her fairy tales, but I've not read them. And now we're on to the bricks. Anathem by Neil Stevenson. It's about a set of monks who look after a clock, and inside the enclosed monastery the world keeps going in this very formulaic, rhythmic, monastic life, while outside everything's falling apart. During the course of the book, some of the monks have to leave the monastery and go into the outside world and take a journey. There's an epic road trip. It's got maths, it's got clocks, it's got monks, it's got road trips, it's got a sort of the world falling apart again. But I haven't read it for a while, but I sort of remember it's having a hopeful feel to it, and I really enjoyed it anyway. So if you're not put off by the size of the brick, this is a good one. The next one I've got is The Lies of Locke Lamora. Now I see this often mentioned as being one to pick up if you like Six of Crows, and I thought, well, I like Locke Lamora, so I'll pick up Six of Crows. It's a heist novel. Again, it's about the Thorn of Camorr, who half the world thinks he's a myth because he's just this epic thief, and he goes on a journey to steal something that's unstealable. He has a very tight band who look after each other, and they steal from the undeserving rich and keep it for themselves. There's a little bit of religion, mysticism, a lot of heist, and a lot of friendship in that way. And the book I'm currently reading, Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. the magic system is brilliant, and it's got this very underexperienced character, I nearly said player, character Vin, and it's so like someone playing an RPG for the first time, and Vin gets told exactly what she needs to do in order to do her next step, and sometimes the DM doesn't quite get it right and sometimes he does. But the interesting thing about this book is not just the magic system, which is what everyone talks about, but Sanderson really disapproves of slavery, and he pulls no punches, and this is a polemic against slavery, and it's about the slaves rising up and taking over. I'm about halfway through and I'm loving it so far, and this was also a book recommended to me not only by BookTube but also by my lovely boyfriend. Behind me you can see his non-fiction books. Fiction is downstairs, and I've just grabbed one off the shelf. This one, In Search of Kazakhstan, the Land That Disappeared, which he suggested I read before we visit last year, and it was really good. I really enjoyed reading this book. It's got a little about the politics, a little about the history, and it's just a really nice thing to have read before going. It's a beautiful country, by the way. And apples come from Kazakhstan. It's a big apple. And no roses. Roses also come from Kazakhstan. And rockets. Anyway, so that's just a handful of books he's recommended, and let me know if you liked any of those, if you're intrigued, and happy Tom's birthday to all of you. Bye!